A few short decades ago, there was no such thing as a girl with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, ADHD. Although it existed in girls, it went unrecognized and was called by many other names. A girl may have been labeled a tomboy with skinned knees, and everyone hoped she'd settle down and outgrow it. Or maybe she was a sweet, shy daydreamer. Or not worried, her parent might have said. She'll find a good husband to take care of her. Maybe she was seen as a social butterfly, always getting in trouble for talking in class. She's a smart girl, she's just not applying herself, a teacher would remark. Perhaps she was fiery and argumentative, rejecting her mother's admonitions to be more ladylike. Parents and teachers had their excuses and opinions, but what was it like for the girls with ADHD? How did they feel? What is ADHD like for girls? The following poignant lament eloquently expresses the experience of one of the countless girls with ADHD who grew up before ADHD was recognized in girls. "I wish my mother had known" was written in the mid-1990s by a recently diagnosed middle-aged woman, one of the sweet, shy daydreamers. At the time this poem was written, women with ADHD were taking the initiative to seek diagnosis, while most girls still languished in the classroom, overlooked and misunderstood, suffering silently. I Wish My Mother Had Known by Mary H. I wish my mother had known that I was actually very smart. I wish my mother had known that I needed more attention. I wish my mother had known that I went to school every day as a little girl, in fear and dread, at the prospect of being shamed and humiliated in class. I wish my mother had known that my low self-esteem and lack of physical affection at home would lead to rampant promiscuity. I wish my mother had known that someday I would have to compete in the world, and that being married was not going to make me safe. I wish my mother had known how desperately I needed stimulation and attainable challenges. Expectations for me were very low, so even I was surprised when I realized that I love a challenge. I wish my mother had known that I was too sensitive and shy and embarrassed to have my needs met. I wish my mother had known that I could not easily either fall asleep or wake up, and that I had no control over that. I wish my mother had known that being put into the dumb classes, in spite of my consistently high IQ tests, was humiliating and caused me to not even bother to try. I wish my mother had known that having only one friend was not normal and might have signaled other problems. I wish my mother had known that leaving the house unzipped, buttoned wrong, or without my lunch or books was a signal.